kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just hold me. Just hold me. Just hold me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Here we go. Welcome to Lernerville Speedway and the NODAK 410 Sprint Car Series. Tony Trapasso up in the booth with you. Join me with me by my partner in crime tonight, the man on the ones and twos, the man, the myth, the living legend himself, Mr. Cliff Corvo. Cliff, welcome to Lernerville.
We're actually at Lanier.
Lerner,
was next week.
Lanier.
But yes, welcome. Thank you. Glad to be here. It's going to be a fun race out here in the dirt. We're going to get dirty tonight on ESBN.
Absolutely. As the first heat race starting to grid up right now, points leader Tyler Schell setting quick time in qualifying. We're going to start on inside row number 1. He's going to be joined with the 8 of Sean Brown. Tyler Wilson and Hayden Spike Harvey going to roll off in row number 2. Row 3 is going to give us Ernie Williams Jr. and Chad Center and Brad Rarick and Noel Anderson going to be starting shotgun on the field in row number 4. 8 cars scheduled to roll off here tonight for heat race number 1. 10 laps of scheduled distance. Top 4 enter the redraw for the A main. And we can see right now that after practice, the cushion already about halfway up the track. Expect that to be wearing the Hoosier off the right rear tire by the time these guys are done.
So don't blink, as the action is going to happen fast here tonight. The Kodak Outlaw Sim League, happy to bring the action here for you on the Esports Broadcasting Network. Be sure to like and subscribe if you're a first-time watcher out here tonight and you're enjoying what you see. Get all kinds of racing throughout the entire week.
Absolutely. As the pace truck starts to pick up a little bit of pace, Chevy Silverado pace truck, the official pace truck of iRacing, is off. Green flag is out, and we are underway already. Points leader Tyler Schell showing why he is the man to beat right now. 35 points to the good currently, as Sean Brown, the Canadian crippler, sitting right there in second place. plugging it out with Hayden Harvey as they were picking him up and laying him down. Battle right now is for that final transfer spot between Harvey and Ernie Williams Jr. Williams on a charge right now.
Yeah, absolutely is. Harvey and Williams are both up one spot from where they started, trying to stay into that transfer spot. But Tyler Schell is setting a blistering pace out here tonight.
Absolutely, as Williams has fallen back into the clutches of Tyler Wilson. Wilson given the 91 all he can handle right now in the 42, as we are already halfway. Cross flags in the air for your points leader, Tyler Schell, as he is having a runaway victory right now. Currently half a second to the good, almost a quarter of the back straightaway in the lead over the Canadian crippler, Sean Brown. Hayden Harvey sits in third as Ernie Williams Jr. slugging for his life right now in the bug chaser number 91. He's got Tyler Wilson all over his tail tank, though, as we are 3 to go. It'll be 2 to go at the stripe for your leader, Tyler Schell. We're watching that battle for the final transfer spot between Williams and Wilson, as Wilson slips up just a little bit coming off of 4. That's going to give Williams Jr. some breathing room as the white flag is in the air. Tyler Schell shows the way. Sean Brown and Harvey go side by side, almost getting into each other. Brown is able to get by Harvey, hold on for second place. Schell coming home with the victory. Brown for second. Harvey and Ernie Williams Jr. rounding out your transfer positions. Chad Sinner, Braden Rarick, Noel Anderson, and Tyler Wilson all having to go to the Consi.
Man, that was some action right there. I kind of gonna get the race info up here. We came in a little bit behind the ball, so to speak, but we'll go back in here now for heat number 2, and we will bring up the grid here for heat number 2. Braden Ayler is gonna start the pole sitter here tonight for heat number 2 with Bill Crush. Oh, well, thanks to Tony. You got the first heat and all the easy names. I'm getting all the crazy ones. Patrick Spangler. Cross check? Okay. Yeah, see, I definitely wouldn't have guessed that. But Patrick Spangler is going to start third here on heat number 2. Daniel Boyd's going to roll off fourth here in heat number 2, with Kenny Hoffman rolling off fifth. Travis Oldfield going to start sixth with Evan Larson behind him, and Damian Paul's going to round out the back of the field here, starting 8th in heat number 2. We're going to get this one underway. I think this will be our only 2 heats here tonight. 10 in the first race, 8 in this one.
So the good news is everybody is going to make it to the A main. No Consi for tonight. So just the top 4 are going to enter the redraw, which is all important, especially with the way that Lanier goes dry slick after about 20 laps.
Let's see who'll be on top of this heat and who's going to take the front row in the main here, aside our heat 1 winner and our points leader.
And just so we're clear, folks, Eiler in the 6 being scored as the 5. This is why we don't let tech officials hand out transponders after they've been drinking.
I was going to get a huge jump on that green flag, and he's going to come out to a almost second gap already over Patrick Spangler in that 39 machine. Still cross-checking Travis Oldfield in the 3-4 position. Oldfield up 1 spot. He's going to hold on to that 4th position as we turn the 7 laps to go when we get to the line.
Seems like the top line already starting to pay dividends as we see guys inching closer and closer to that concrete barrier. Right now, Spangler and Crosscheck. Spangler in the 39, Crosscheck in the 14. That is your battle for second, as Braden Heiler, a member of the Black Bumper Brigade. For those of you new to iRacing, he's got his pro license, folks. So you kind of expect him to be where he's running right now, as Crosscheck now has to deal with Oldfield reeling him in. It's now a 3-car tango for the second spot as we are just past the halfway mark.
The old field in that 038's getting a good feeling for that car, catching that outside, like you said, getting higher and higher, closer to the wall, running some decent laps. Not quite able to reel him in, it doesn't look like, as we got 4 to go in heat number 2. Kenny Hoffman looks like he didn't take the track there in the 1, so we got 7 in this race right now. Damian Paul going to be rounding out the tail end of it.
Kenny had a throughput.
That'll kill your race early.
Yes, it will. So the ace going to have to start deep in the feature event here tonight at Lanier. Beautiful Georgia clay for these guys to race on. His white flag in the air. Eiler with about a full straightaway lead over that battle for second between Spangler, Crosscheck, and Oldfield. Oldfield's kind of fallen off a little bit as checkered flag flies. Braden Eiler, Pat Spangler, Phil Crosscheck, and Travis Oldfield getting into the redraw. Dan Boyd, Damian Paul, Evan Larson, and Kenny Hoffman all going to have to start deep in the feature.
That'll do it for our heats. Braden Eiler and Ernie Williams Jr. are going to take the front row here tonight when we get going. They'll warm up a little bit. They'll work this track in, and we'll get on to our, correct me if I'm wrong, our 30-lap final event here.
You are correct. 30 laps. As some quick things to take note of, if we want to pull up the weather for tonight, relatively cool conditions for the Brazelton, Georgia area, and I'm sorry I'm butchering that, folks, but I've done some racing down in Brazington, Florida. This is Brazelton, Georgia. So relatively cool conditions, 78-degree ambient air temperature, 71-degree track temperature. Pretty calm winds, only 2 mile an hour, gusting up to 3 or 4. But that relative humidity means that these engines are going to be making gobs of power tonight to try to get a hold of this sticky Georgia clay. And anybody that's raced in Georgia knows that Georgia clay is some of the best clay to be racing on. As a matter of fact, they truck that stuff all throughout North America for other tracks to use. So a little bit of a warm-up session going on right now. Everybody getting their final tune-ups dialed in. Another thing to keep in mind is these guys are only going to have one fast repair in their pocket tonight to get through all 30 laps. Normally, pit stops are not a major thing here on the dirt side of things. But, luckily they're in a warm-up session, which works the same as a practice session. You don't have to worry about going to the backup car in the warm-up, just in the competition. So, Cliff, I believe this is your first sprint car race, is it not?
Yeah, this absolutely is. First show I've ever called here, and first sprint car show I've ever called either. I'm used to big old stock cars, man, and these things are amazing me. I do apologize if I'm not saying much. I'm just in awe at how fast these guys are getting around this place and how close they're taking it to the wall.
Well, you're talking about a 410 cubic inch small block running on methanol that's mechanical fuel injection. You're talking somewhere in the neighborhood of 850 to 900 horsepower in a car that only weighs 1,200 pounds with driver.
Right. Yeah, it's amazing that
compare that to the stock cars you normally broadcast, which are 358 cubic inch small blocks on gasoline that weigh 3,650 pounds with driver. And also take a look at that right rear tire on these cars. You're talking an 18 by 15 wheel. Outside diameter is right around 32 to 33 inches. You've got normally about 5 inches of stagger on a 3/8 mile track like this. A solid rear axle and that wing on top. With that wing set right, these cars could run upside down.
Well, it's amazing that these guys keep it on 4 wheels and aren't upside down constantly. I'm hearing that with everything you just told me, what I'm hearing is that that right foot's got to be like a feather. Throttle control is going to be
Nope.
everything. No.
You put your foot to the floor and don't lift until the checkered flag.
Okay, now I'm just blown away.
You use the brake to control the car.
Okay.
You leave your foot planted. There's usually not a right front brake hookup. There's one on the left front tire and there's one on the rear axle. Other than that, that's it.
Awesome.
So as the warm-up session comes to a close, let's take a quick look at our starting grid for tonight. Shall we, Cliff?
Absolutely. Tyler Schell is going to roll off in the first spot with Braden Eiler right outside of him, rolling off in second.
Number 1 and number 2 in points.
John Brown's going to roll off third with Patrick Spangler starting outside him in fourth. Hayden Harvey will roll off fifth here tonight in the 55 machine with Phil Crosscheck starting sixth in that 14. Ernie Williams Jr. will start seventh with Travis Oldfield in the 038 machine starting eighth. Chad Sinner is going to start ninth with Daniel Boyd rolling off 10th.
Brad Rarick and Damian Fall are going to start in row number 6. Row 7 gives us Noel Anderson and Evan Larson. Tyler Wilson scheduled to roll off in 14th with Kenny Hoffman in 15th. And Corey Wimmer, I believe, is up in race control tonight. So Kenny Hoffman going to be starting shotgun on the field in the 42 after having those the connection issues in the heat race. So as the field starts to roll behind the Chevy Silverado pace truck, the official pace truck of iRacing, you wanted the best, you've got the best. The often imitated, never duplicated NODAK 410 Sprint Car Series. We're getting ready to turn them loose for 30 laps here at Lanier. And Shell is going to have the button. It's going to be a points battle at the front of this thing. Shell currently leading the points as the pace truck starts to pick up speed. Field working its way into the restart zone. The only thing it's left to do is wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point harness, because race fans, it's showtime!
Weapon the wall. Tyler Schell gets into it a little bit. Brayden Ayler is going to get by. He'll close the door, but Schell grab the inside line with that crossover move. Looks like the inside's going to work a little bit better for these guys right now.
Those guys are running what they generally call the slider line, where you enter low and exit to cut off any run that somebody's going to have on that outside. Schell back to the point. Eiler trying to reel him in as Harvey's taking the extreme low line right now, looking for any grip he can get. But that car seems to bind up just a tick on that low side, as now the 39 of Spangler dropping down to the low side, trying to pick up the 4th spot.
Amazing views out here with this dirt race. Cars all over the racetrack, some jumping onto that bottom line and sliding up. Most cars grabbing that top line and even getting into the wall a little bit. Tony, how much do they use this wall to kind of keep them going in the right direction?
Well, we call that wearing the Hoosier off the right rear when you're running that close to the retaining wall. Right now, everybody just looking for whatever little grip is left on that low side. Looks like a second groove starting to form up on the low side, as they're starting to get a second cushion formed with all the guys running down there right now. But Eiler has flat checked out, Schell has flat checked out, as Eiler and Spangler just going hammer and tongs at it for second. The battle behind them, though, between Harvey, Krochek, and Brown is hot and heavy as we speak.
Car up into the wall. Ernie Williams Jr. is going to catch that wall and almost flip over there. Caution is going to come out. Let's see if we can take a look at what did actually happen there. It happened so fast.
It looks like Sean Brown caught a piece of it. Yeah, that was Brown that got up and did a Tommy tip over.
Yeah, there he is.
And looks like Williams manually disconnected and Brown immediately put it on the hauler.
Yeah, that was definitely Brown. Ernie Williams Jr. actually found his way into the pits rather quickly. I think that's what set the timing off first. Brown's gonna catch that wall and do the old tipsy turvy, but he will find his wheels. Did he actually disconnect?
Yes, he did.
Yes, sir.
Brown and Williams have both put it on the hauler early, so that's going to be 15th and 16th respectively for them. As Evan Larson did not take the green.
Tyler Schell's gonna hold on to that top spot. They'll have to get reeled back in here, though. That'll give some of these other drivers an opportunity to catch back up to Schell and maybe knock him back down and take the lead here. But it's gonna be tough, as Schell was a really fast driver there that last run. I don't think we're gonna see much different this run as the green flag waves. Sorry, 21 laps left in this thing. Do not blink, ladies and gentlemen, or it'll be over. Spangler and Eiler this time hanging on there just a bit better than last run.
Oh,
caution behind them.
Damien Fall involved in that one.
I do apologize. This things happen so quickly here that even the timing even sets off insanely quickly. So let's see if I can catch you quick and see if we can find out what happened. We won't spend much time.
Hoffman all getting into it on the backstretch.
Mayhem. Absolute mayhem there. Hoffman and others on the side. They'll have to get them set back up on 4 tires and get them off the track. Here is Schell, Eiler, Spangler, Krejci, Crosscheck, Harvey, Oldfield, Rarick, Boyd, Anderson, and Sinner. Your top 10. We'll go back green momentarily here. Can anybody catch Schell here tonight? Has Eiler got anything for him? Let's see. As this one winds down here.
We're 10 laps in, as caution laps do not count here on the dirt side of things. Schell going to have the button as the field works its way into the restart zone. Pace truck is in, green flag is out, and we are back underway, working lap 11 here at Lanier.
Schell shoots off, riding his rocket. Eiler right behind him. Spangler and Crosscheck now up 2 spots. So I'm going to take a look here. Noel Anderson, our hard charger of the race right now, up 5 spots. Side note about that, there's a cash prize on the line for the hard charger of the race. Going to keep our eyes on that as this one ticks down. 18 laps to go. Schell continues to lead here. Got about a 0.6 of a second gap over Eiler. Patrick Spangler's actually going to fight for that second spot here.
Spangler looking for grip on the low side as Eiler wearing the Hoosier off the right rear on the high side. Spangler with the nose out front going through 3 and 4. Looks like the low lane might be effective at least in 3 and 4. Eiler gets into the wall. That's going to cost him some time. That's going to let Spangler get in front of him for second place as Eiler now falls back into the clutches of Crosscheck, trying to hang on to that final podium spot.
Yeah, Spangler really working that inside line, and it's working out for him at the moment as he's able to keep Eiler behind him, working at the high side. We're all chasing down Tyler Schell, though, as he's over a second gap now, over second spot. We got a car up on its side here.
At center. Looks like center and the 64 of Anderson getting into it.
Yeah, you're right. They're
both of them trying to use that low line and just got it wrong. Got the right rear tire up into that slick stuff.
Yeah, they're gonna hook their tires there, and that's definitely not something you can do here with these open wheel cars.
No, that's definitely not something you want to do ever in an open wheel car. You know, they have Nerf bars to try to help prevent that, but right front to left rear, you're going over.
Yeah, those Nerf bars, you know, definitely will help probably deflect the tire from it as best as you can. But But yeah, there's not much there to keep it off. Green flag back in the air. Shell shoots out like a rocket once again. Spangler's gonna chase him down. Eiler, Harvey behind him, third and fourth. Crosscheck's gonna fall, or not fall, but hold on to fifth. As Oldfield and Rarick behind him. Taking a look now, Rarick is our hard charger currently. Battle's heating up behind Shell though for second, third, both working that bottom line.
Yeah, apparently Eiler realized what Spangler was doing and found that there's still some grip on that ultra low line, but you got to flirt with disaster. And if your setup's not willing to take it, you got to have the gearing right and you got to have the wing set right to make that bottom lane work. And Eiler goes right back to the bread and butter, up on the cushion, getting a good run off of two, driving that lead back. His crush check. Oh, Spangler's around. Spangler did exactly what I just said. You're flirting with disaster on that low side. Caught the left front tire on the concrete and caught the wall, and just around she went. And we are going single file. We are inside the last 10 laps of this piece, so we're going to go single file.
Single file, 10 to go. This will be a 10-lap shootout here. If you haven't been paying attention, things happen quick around here. The Spangler's going to be out front now. Is that what I'm looking at? Nope. That's going to cycle through. Yep. Shell is going to be up top.
SDK does not like the fact that cautions don't count on the dirt side. But
I'll tell you what else it doesn't like. It doesn't like how close these cars are getting to pit entry.
Yeah. True story. And folks, if you could see what we're seeing, it flashes on our timing and scoring screens every time somebody enters the area of where you would go down pit road. So Shell, Eiler, Crosscheck, Harvey, Oldfield, Rarick, Boyd, and Spangler, your lead lap cars as the pace truck peels on off. We are 10 to go, going to be 9 at the stripe. Shell continues to lead. This is the closest Eiler's been all night long.
Crosscheck and Harvey gonna fight for that third spot. Looks like Crosscheck will get him. Hayden Harvey drops back to fourth. Travis Oldfield gonna hold on to the top 5 position.
Oldfield under fire from Rarick right now, though, as your top 4 start to walk away. As Eiler just stalking Shell right now. Number 1 and number 2 in points for a reason, folks.
Yeah, these guys are proving to us at least that they are up at the top of the points for a reason.
Oh, the contact!
Eiler's
around.
Eiler's gonna go around and have trouble. Unfortunately, take a look at what happened here if we can get a better view.
Looks like Eiler just drove it in deep and got into the tail tank of Shell.
Yeah, Shell's fortunate enough to straighten it back out. Eiler's not.
Yeah, Eiler goes around. So good news is he's going to stay on the lead lap. The question is how much damage has been done to the 6. Of course, being scored as the 5. But, that's going to give Shell a little bit of breathing room. But Crosscheck's been strong. Question is, what's Harvey going to be able to do with him, as Pat Spangler giving an EOL penalty? Not sure exactly why.
Yeah, an interesting turn of events there for Spangler. That'll drop him down 3 spots from where he started. So our current
right now is Brad Rarick in the 22.
That's exactly what I was going to say, my friend.
Pace truck is in. We're back underway, and we're crashing already.
Oh, rough start for a couple cars back there at the
Eiler
back.
just went over.
Bunch of cars in trouble there towards the back of the pack. You know, these you're racing so close with these open wheel cars that it's bound to happen. You touch a tire, you're gonna go around. Extra care has got to be taken around here, and looks like they just kind of let it all out in the line there, and they were a little bit too close together, and 3 or 4 cars there getting together with the open wheel tires there, and mayhem ensues.
Well, it looks like they stacked them up. The 55 of Harvey didn't get going. The 38 of Boyd just ass packed him. Pardon my French, folks. And that stacked up the 22. And Eiler, trying to avoid it, just went into the outside wall under the flag stand. Boy.
So Shell's going to continue to hold off the entire field here. We got 5 to go when we take the green flag. Crosscheck now up to second here. Daniel Boyd going to be our hard charger, up 6 spots.
Absolutely. These guys are starting to get it figured out as we're in the closing laps of this one. There'll be 3 laps to go at the stripe. Shell continues to show the way, but it's a pack of angry wolves behind him. The battle rages on for third between Harvey, Boyd, and Spangler, as Spangler on a recovery drive right now. As Krocek in the 14 holding down a strong second place. He's got Harvey in his slipstream right now, as white flag going to be shown this time by the 85 of Shell, your points leader, going to extend that points lead here tonight. Crosscheck and Harvey. Harvey's going to have one final shot at Crosscheck, coming through 3 and 4 for the final time. Give the win to Shell. Crosscheck hangs on for second. Harvey coming home in third. Braden Eiler, great recovery, coming home in fourth. And Daniel Boyd in fifth.
Well, what an amazing race. What an amazing night here tonight. A lot of action. Amazing. I don't even know what to say right now. I'm hooked on sprint car dirt racing. I'll tell you that much. So Tyler Shell's gonna win it here tonight at Lanier.
I can tell you, Phil, or Cliff, I can tell you honestly, growing up on the dirt tracks of Central New York, there is nothing better than watching a race in turn one with a clump of clay in the bottom of your beer.
Oh, I love it.
So we are just waiting for our top 3 to get into the Discord server. We have one of the 3 already. You're just waiting for the other 2 right now. But Shell showing tonight why he is our points leader. Fortunately, I don't see him here yet. Not sure why. But
yeah, he's I don't actually see him in the Discord here, so we should probably go ahead and get
let's start in reverse order.
Yeah,
Start with Hayden Harvey.
Good go.
Hayden Harvey coming home with a podium finish here tonight at Lanier. A hard-fought podium, I might add, as you were given Krocek all he could handle in the closing laps of this one.
Yeah, I kind of came into this one a little blind. Didn't really do many practice laps before this, so it's been at least a good month almost since I've really ran hard competitive here. So I was kind of going off memory by what line to run and what setup to go for that, and we're trying out some new adjustments tonight. So trying to get used to all that kind of had me all over the place, and I found I just couldn't make up any ground in the slick or the bottom. So I went back to what I knew, and that was knocking the wall down full throttle and giving it everything I had.
Yeah, absolutely. You were definitely wearing the Hoosier completely off the right rear by the time this one was over. But talk us through a couple of those incidents, because it was like the Red Seas were parting for you at times.
Yeah, it definitely felt like that as well for me. Just going through there, I know a good handful of these drivers in here, like Patrick, Braden, Tyler, Philip, of course. But there was also a good group I didn't know, so I wasn't sure what to expect whenever I was getting up into these more tight scenarios. So I was kind of being a lot more patient than I'm used to. and just kind of letting everyone figure out what they were wanting to do. And I knew Patrick, he was a lot better on the bottom than me. So I kind of let him have it, and I was just following him there for a little bit. And then whenever I saw, couldn't even remember who else got around me, but someone else did end up getting around me, and I just decided to sit back and calm down, take a few deep breaths, and just keep running my line. And I knew soon enough, if I keep calm like that, everyone else is up on the wheel hard, trying to make as many moves as possible. With how one lane this place gets, I knew I could eventually pick off a few positions from just wrecks and stuff like that. And it
Well,
turns out it went my way.
well, Hayden, you had a good run here tonight at Lanier. We change gears next week and go into Lernerville, which is notorious for having two grooves all night long. But you got to be careful if you're running that high side there, because there's no wall to save you at Lernerville.
Yeah, that is very true. That is another one of my tracks I truly do like just for how it races. And it's another track you really do have to step back and just keep calm in yourself, because winning a race at Lernerville is a big mental game in my eyes, because if you're a leader, you see a guy coming up on you and putting pressure on you, you can't make your own mistake of pushing yourself too hard and then pushing past that cushion. You have to keep a cool head and just keep doing what you do and hope that they mess up trying to catch you.
All right, Hayden, who do you need to thank before we let you go celebrate the podium tonight with your team?
Of course, I got to thank Austin Vanderpool for everything he's done for this team. It's going on almost 2 years I've been with them, and it's been a blast. Honestly, I am surprised that we have made it this far. And I wouldn't have it any other way. I've had offers from other places, and I always just came back and stayed with what I knew, and I'm happy I did. And along with our sponsors that have helped us since day one, like Tim Sims, Chop House Race Products, Bailing Race Products, and all the other ones that are out there. I couldn't think of them all right now, but it wouldn't be possible without all them guys, and of course all my teammates that keep backing me every single week.
All right, Hayden, congratulations on the podium tonight. We'll see you next week at Lernerville.
Thank you, sir.
So that was our third place finisher, and I believe you've got second place with you now, Cliff.
Hey, Phil, Cliff, and Tony in the booth. You got us?
10-4.
Well, first and foremost, Phil, I wanna thank you for bringing us in for this weekend. I had a blast tonight with Tony. But take us through your race there, man. Did you have anything for Shell at all? Did you have a chance or what?
I think I kind of lucked out to get where I got. Kind of ran the top for a while, went down to the middle, and then went back up to the top. But yeah, I don't think I could have grabbed him, but he played a pretty good run.
Yeah, well, I mean, a P2 finish here is not too shabby. But you guys showed me that this group here has got a lot of talent out here in the dirt, man. And as Tony was saying, you're rubbing the Hoosiers off on that wall, man. That top line really seemed to be working. But congrats again on P2. Anyone you want to shout out to before we send you back to celebrate?
Yeah, just the family for allowing me to have some fun on the nights in the sim, and all the guys over at FSI Motorsports, and Josh and Colby, and yeah, you guys for helping us out on kind of short notice.
Yeah,
And then all the drivers as well, part of NODAK. So
yeah, absolutely. Happy to do it for you guys, and thanks for putting on a great show for us tonight. Definitely impressed me. So congrats on P2, and hopefully, you get to the podium again next week at Lernerville.
sounds good. Thanks.
So that was our second place finisher. And the man who's been the class of the field most of the season, definitely the class of the field tonight, Tyler Schell, another dominating performance out of the 85.
Yeah, it was good run. Sad, not like feel bad that me and Bray got into it. Little accident, but yeah, good race. I kept getting out to a big lead, and then the cautions come out, so that was frustrating. But able to pull out the win.
Absolutely. And you weren't afraid to go to that low line, just trying to experiment to see where there was grip on this slick, hard packed Georgia clay. Um, were you more comfortable on the high line, or did you think the low lane would produce as good a racing as it did?
I was comfortable in the high line. I felt like I was better being forward to roll right around the bottom, just better grip off and was able to launch myself down the front stretch. But I tried on the end of the race in 1 and 2, and it really didn't seem as great. But kind of just cautious, just had a bigger lead, so just kind of rode it out.
Well, Tyler, we definitely uh, change tactics next week as we go to a little bit of a wider open track. Usually 2 lanes of racing all night long at Lernerville. Your thoughts going into that one?
Just qualify good and just be able to stay on the track, and I think we'll have a good shot.
All right, Tyler, before we let you go celebrate yet another victory here in the NODAK Racing 410 Sprint Series, who do you need to thank for tonight?
Thank everybody who puts the league on. You guys for hopping in on short notice to put the broadcast on, and then just help us up some sport.
All right, Tyler Shell, congratulations on extending your points lead here tonight. Best of luck to you next week at Lernerville.
Thank you.
So, Cliff, we got another one in the books. Your first sprint car race. What's your takeaway from Lanier?
Man, I had fun. This is I almost wish it was a little slower, the action, because it was hard to just keep up for my first time on dirt. But man, what a great race. What a lot of fun. I honestly wish I could see something like this in real life. I've never actually been to a dirt track race in real life, so I'm going to probably seek out the closest dirt track in my area and try to catch some of this type of action in real time, or real life, I
Lebanon
should
Valley
say.
Speedway in West Lebanon, New York.
There we go. I'm gonna have to check that out.
Because you're right over there in Massachusetts. That's going to be the closest place you're going to be able to see the World of Outlaw sprint cars when they come to town at the Valley. But Big Block Modified's weekly at that track, so good dirt racing, not that far from you. So you owe it to yourself, and let me know when you're going to come. I'll meet you up at the track.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate that. Whole lot of action here on the dirt tonight. For the NODAK Outlaw Sim League, Tyler Shell taking the point at number 1 position. So we'll go ahead and run through the results here of our feature event. Tyler Shell, as we said, finishing first in that 85 machine. Phil Crosscheck's going to take second place in that 14. Hayden Harvey's going to round out our podium in third, the 55. Braden Eiler will come across the line in 4th position. Daniel Boyd is going to finish 5th. Patrick Spangler's going to finish 6th place tonight in that 39 machine, with Brady Rarick finishing 7th. Finishes 4 spots up. Travis Oldfield's going to finish 8th, with Tyler Wilson finishing 9th here tonight. Noel Anderson's going to round out our top 10. And just a highlight before we go any further, Tyler Wilson in that 42 was our hard charger of the race, up 6 spots from where he started. He will win a cash prize. So big shout out to Tyler Wilson, hard charge winner. I believe it's a cool 20.
25, I think.
25? Not too bad, man.
Let's see. I can't find it.
So Chad
But
Center.
yeah, I think it's 25. But anyways, Chad Center coming home in 11th, 12th going to Damian Fall. Kenny Hoffman having a dismal night, coming home in 13th. Sean Brown getting into an early one with Ernie Williams Jr. Both of them putting them on the hauler early, and Evan Larson did not take the green. But yeah, great race all night long. These guys put on some amazing shows. Hopefully they're gonna get with us about doing the Lernerville broadcast for next week. Fingers crossed. But for Mr. Cliff Corvo on the 1s and 2s tonight over in the production truck, giving you the great camera angles that you saw all night long. This is Tony Trapasso reminding you, ladies and gentlemen, that as you walk down the road of life, please don't play in traffic. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, we're clear. Sorry.
All right then.
Whee!